Hello, I'm Desi Smith, Staff Photographer for the Gloucester Daily Times. I started taking photos for the paper around 1990 as a freelancer, where I started to develop my skills as a photojournalist. Taking photos for a newspaper isn't just about pressing the shutter to take a picture. It's about making an image that will help tell a story. Most of the time they are planned events, and there are times you are called out on a moment's notice, like to an early morning rollover on a highway, a home fully engulfed in flames as a firefighter runs to connect another hose, a mother comforting her daughter after being struck by a car near their home, firefighters bringing this cat back to life after being rescued from a burning building, and even a standoff as police and SWAT move in to remove a distraught man from his home. These are just some of the things that make this job exciting. So here are my favorites for pictures of the year. Memorials and vigils have always been challenging for me. Having to photograph families and friends who have lost or just lost a loved one is never easy. Here people have gathered at a vigil for victims of opioid overdose. These two boys carry a wreath in memory of their father and grandfather who were lost at sea during the annual Fishermen's Memorial Service to remember those fishermen lost at sea. The littlest boy's mother was pregnant with him at the time of this tragedy. Starting off with this photo of Captain Al Catone, a Gloucester fisherman who I photographed as part of a week-long series called Fish Tales, where several local fishermen talked about their struggles on the ever-changing fishing regulations that have threatened their livelihood and forced many fishermen out of business, spoken in their own words through videotaped interviews and photos. While taking photos at a local car show and already having what I needed in the can, I looked back and saw this classic car owner had stopped to check out this little boy's push car as his mother looked on. When I'm assigned to cover these town events, I look for something that shows family interaction and people just enjoying themselves. As I looked around, I saw this man was creating huge bubbles, and then saw this dad lifting his daughter up into these bubbles. Knowing that they would burst into their face, I chose my angle, keeping the other dad and child in my frame, and just waited for it to happen, making this one of my favorites. And speaking of favorites, sports have always been my favorite to cover, mostly football. From this high-flying Danvers High School football player, and to without a doubt my favorite sports shot of the year is Patriots' Julian Edelman going over the top head first, just shy of the end zone this year against the Raiders. Most exciting of my sports year was covering the Boston Red Sox opening day game where they received the World Series championship rings. Then capturing this photo of the team with their arms around each other's shoulders as they walk back from the outfield carrying the wooden boxes that hold their championship rings. To Big Papi, David Ortiz, who walked off the field admiring his 3 rings on a chain and then walking over and showing them to the fans, making these some of my favorite sports photos of the year. I'll end this year with some features. Every paper needs features of places and people from the surrounding towns, starting with this group of college students who took a break from their studies to catch up on some rays as they laid out on a dock at Manchester Harbor. I love the serious look on this young girl's face as she sprints down the footbridge at Good Harbor Beach in Gloucester, leaving her parents behind. I wanted to capture the final days of the old Good Harbor Fillet Company that's been a part of Gloucester's history for years, as the building was being torn down to build a new hotel. This was a feature to promote a haunted house at Hammond's Castle in Gloucester for Halloween. This was a feature where people brought their pets to be photographed with Santa. I like this one because this cute puppy was up for adoption, and with a photo like this, who wouldn't adopt him? I had an assignment to photograph an event that was canceled due to rain and didn't find out until I got there. So I decided to look for a feature photo and saw this father and his 2 daughters heading over the Ipswich Bridge and followed behind. I cut my distance and used a long lens to capture the older girl entertaining her father by dancing and laughing. I love her laugh, the father smiling back, and the little one who appears to need a diaper change. This photo makes me smile. That's why this is my favorite. I hope you all enjoyed viewing them as much as I did taking them. Happy New Year.